Hey there, Willowbrook. Thanks so much for doing daily Devos with us. Today we are in Jeremiah chapter 31. Well, Jeremiah is actually known as the weeping prophet. I'd probably be weeping too because he didn't have good news for the people of Israel. In fact, there is news that they are going to be in exile for longer than they thought. And so Jeremiah is not the most popular guy on the block. But when we get to chapter 31, things start looking up. You see, the people of Israel, they have turned away from God. They have chased after their own things, and they've faced a lot of consequences because of it. But chapter 31, God basically says, hey, you know what? We're about to renegotiate the terms of our agreement. You see, God had a covenant with the people of Israel, a covenant being, hey, you do this, I'll do this. And God has kept his end of the bargain, but Israel has not. With just a quick Google of this idea of renegotiating terms, this is what it says. It says that renegotiating either during the life of an agreement or after is usually brought on by the failure of one side to fulfill its obligations. Google knows that a lot of times when things aren't working out, we're going to have to renegotiate things, and God realizes it too because the people of Israel have failed to keep their obligations. And this is what it says in verse 31. It says, look, the days are coming. This is the Lord's declaration when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. What is this new covenant? It's a covenant that says, hey, you guys cannot fulfill the demands and the obligations that are required of you, so I'm going to send my son Jesus. He will meet all the requirements in order for us to be in covenant relationship with one another, and you have the opportunity to join in on this relationship because of the work of Jesus on the cross. This wasn't always the case for the people of Israel, but it's the case for you and I. When we join in relationship with Jesus, we are joining in to a new covenant that Jeremiah talked about hundreds of years before Jesus even came to be. It's because God knew we needed to renegotiate the terms of the agreement, and he did so with the person and the work of Jesus. If you haven't taken some time recently to really consider and thank God for this amazing work that he did, this reconsideration, the renegotiation, do that today, because we get the blessing of walking in a new agreement, a new covenant because of Jesus. I hope that you'll have a happy Monday.